Good morning. It's Vijay here. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre-Market Commentary. Today is Wednesday, 21st May 2025. Yesterday was a terrible Tuesday for most punters, including us who are doing day trading. Our investments did reasonably okay because we have well spread out, but day trading, we suffered losses because we could not gauge what was happening during the day. I was hoping that yesterday markets will do well, but I said in my commentary that we should not be overconfident. Luckily, we were not overconfident. We are never overconfident anyway. So the markets took a turn for the worse, and after 2 o'clock, also generally the markets bounced back, and this time they did not bounce back. So there was what we would call a crash, and people started panicking, and people started to find reasons. And so today we will discuss some of the reasons, or what I call the non-reasons. See, markets they don't have to come down for any particular reason. Some people may decide at one point of time that the prices are too high for them, so they may start profit booking, and so that can become a snowflake, can become an avalanche, and people continue to sell. As it goes lower, more people join in to sell, and then the market could come down and it may result in a intraday crash also. So we will discuss each of these issues and see where we are and what we should be doing today onwards. So, what are the reasons for the market fall? So, people have to find reasons. So, one person said, not one person, a set of people said it is because of COVID scare. So, everywhere COVID numbers are increasing. India also is the numbers are increasing. So, therefore, the COVID is the reason. So, then, if that was the logic, two things should have happened. One is global market should have fallen, which they didn't. Then, Asian market should have fallen, that they didn't. Europe markets didn't fall, and there was no significant movement in the US futures when we were closing. Now, typically, when something COVID scare happens, the pharma stocks tend to go up, but that also did not happen. So I don't know from where we should why we should get worried about the COVID scare. Then the US India deal getting delayed. Now, US India deal clearly said by the fall they will have the deal. By the fall would mean by September. So they're already talking of a first part deal in July. So there is no reason for us to think that the US India deal is the reason for the market fall. Then the third one is the Japanese bond market gyrations. So some of the guys, the so-called intellectual guys who look at other markets and who look at esoteric things like Japanese bond, what it is doing, whether liquidity is flowing globally. So Japanese bond yields have gone up by about 17% in the last 1 month, which is big, no doubt. But if that was so, then global liquidity should have been compressed and all over the world, market should have fallen, including Japan, which did not really happen. Then there was a talk of Zomato FI holding. So it was specific to Zomato because Zomato board took a decision where if their weightage in MSCI will come down, which means FIs will be selling. But that also did not show anything like that. And it is a company specific issue. But the market fell across the board. Then finally, FI selling, that is very obvious that, whenever market falls, people think FIs are selling heavily. And this time they were proven right. So FI sold a massive 10,000 crores. Now, and DIs tried to buy about 6,700 crores. So the 3,200 crores was sold by the punters with the FIs. So why did FIs sell? I really no good reason I can think of. We have seen such huge selling by FIs in the past, and let us analyze what happened later. So let us, and incidentally, even in the F&O, the FIs were bearish. If you look at FI futures, they were sellers. Though they bought call options, they also bought put options. Only the pros were bullish in futures and call options, and retail was bullish only in futures, but even call options, they were bearish. So retail were hedging. DIS future, they'll be bearish because that is mostly an arbitrage fund. So they were, retail was hedging, DIs were hedging, FIs were outright bearish. FIs also hedged to some extent in call option. Pros were only bullish. The only segment of the market yesterday were the pros who were bullish. So this is where we come across. So everybody seems to have hedge except the pros. The pros are supposed to know better than all the other segments. So let us see what happened in the past. So in on April 7th of 2025, when that crisis about this Trump's tantrums, which was talking of tariffs, so that day FI sold about 9,000 crores, so less than what happened yesterday. This is net selling I'm talking about. They also sold about 11,640 crores in on 28th February 2025. Now, very interesting what happened during those days. So this was on 28th February 2025. Heavy selling. Next day, the market could not do anything. The following day, the market bottomed out. The following day. And then the market has just gone up. Then the next 9,000 crore selling happened on that day when market fell more than 1,000 points, but recovered to close down at 742 points. But from the beginning, FDIs were buying at that point of time. So you had a 742 points drop, but that was the bottom. So the last two times when FIs sold heavily have been bottoms or near bottoms. Now we are somewhere near the top, if you look at it. So is this beginning of a trend, or is it just one day occurrence in a bull market? We have to see, because in a bull market, some of the biggest falls happen in a bull market in a very short span of time. So yesterday we lost about 260 points on the Nifty. So it was a very, whether it's quick and dirty and whether we'll recover today, I think we'll have to wait for at least a couple of hours before making a decision. So what are the cues this morning? Yesterday, Nifty declined for third straight session. Mid cap also had a 6 session winning streak. It broke yesterday. Small cap hit a 3-month high but ended in the red. Metal hit a year-to-day high but it closes in the red. Realty hit a 3-month high but turned negative. Everything moved to highs and turned negative. Generally, at the top and significantly higher levels, if this happens, it's a bearish sign. It is. We have to accept it, but we have to give some time for the market to say whether it is bearish or whether it is just one of those days in the bull market. Too much the market has gone up, and therefore, it is taking some rest and throwing out people. Already the analysts who had just become the bearish analysts who had become bullish are now talking about numbers. Now they're talking about 23,000, 23,500, 23,800. All kinds of numbers are being thrown about, which is about 1,800 to 1,000 points lower from where we are yesterday. So Nifty energy also came down. Everything came down. So there's nothing I can read out excepting that nothing was really visible. IT fell down. So now, one glib reason could be the market fell today because it needed to fail before it could succeed. Now, that is the optimist viewpoint. Then let's look at what happened to US markets. S&P fell, Dow Jones fell, Nasdaq also fell. All three markets did fall. Tesla gained something because of Elon Musk talked about his confirmed commitment to the company. Oil prices went up because Israel was supposed to be striking Iran, which I think is a bogus news. But that could also be the news why Indian markets fell. But nevertheless, I believe it's a bogus one. Dollar index was trading at 100. Normally, if such news comes, dollar index should have shot up, but dollar index actually weakened. And US 10-year yield was steady. It was up 0.4%. 30-year yield also up 0.4%. So how are the earnings which are coming up? Yesterday were good earnings from Whirlpool. Dixon Tech was really good. Aster DM, Gabriel, and United Spirits came up with very good results. In line with Fortis and Torrent Pharma. Mixed was Gland Pharma, which always gives mixed results, and NHBC also was mixed. Weak was GSFC, the fertilizer company, JK Tires, and Finiotex Chemicals. So what are the results today? We have ONGC and IndusInd Bank. I think IndusInd Bank may go up today, is what I suspect, but I am not taking any position in that. ONGC is very tricky, but ONGC also should come with good results. Colgate Palmolive results will not be great, but maybe it's oversold, so one has to be careful there. For shorting, I'm talking of. Nalco should come with good results in my opinion. PFC should come with good results. And then VATech, Wabag should come with good results. And IRCON International will come with so-so results, even if the results are reasonably good, but I think the market is stuffed with railway stocks, and railway stocks are on the downtrend. So there may be, it may actually not do much. Interglobe Aviation, that is Indigo, management commentary will be looked forward to as to what is happening. and that will, because they're having a tie with Turkey, and so I'm sure questions will be asked on that. Minda also is a very interesting company. We should look at what is going to happen. Gopaldas Exports should come up with good results. So I would say just don't panic at this point of time. When there's real panic, then as the cartoon says, in case of stock market crash, break glass and fall, jump from the building. I don't think that situation has come, and I don't think we should really worry too much. There will be a correction in all bull markets, so I assume that this is a bull market correction. So one need not really get too much worried. I think one should be cautiously bullish. At least I am cautious. I'm not a SEBI registered advisor, but I would be cautiously bullish. Wait for some time before extending my what shall I say trades today. Maybe I may not even trade today and watch the market. Look for bargains to buy for investments or even for swing trades. So whatever you do, I hope it is successful. Thank you for joining.